Former Vice President of the United States, Walter Mondale, is describing the attacks as stunning. When we asked him to compare this day to any day in American history, he said it is like Pearl Harbor.
This is the equivalent of war today. Totally a surprise. But in terms of an internal attack by terrorists, I don't think there's a thing that remotely compares to it in the United States.
Response from the international community was quick, condemning the acts of terrorism as cowardly. There was sporadic celebration by Palestinians in the West Bank. However, a spokesperson for the Islamic Jihad said, quote, "We are against the killings of citizens." CNN is reporting that there is a strong link to the terrorist Osama bin Laden. But in an earlier statement, the Taliban government of Afghanistan denied responsibility. From the French government, the attacks are monstrous. From Lebanon, we're shocked. We send our condolences to the United States. We heard from other world leaders, including Yasser Arafat and British Prime Minister Tony Blair.
First of all, I am offering my condolences, the condolences of the Palestinian people to the American President, President Bush, to his government, to the American people for this terrible act.
I'm afraid we can only imagine the terror and the carnage there, and the many, many innocent people that will have lost their lives.
Once again, we see terrorism, we see terrorists, people who don't believe in democracy, people who believe that with the destruction of buildings, with the murder of people, they can somehow achieve a political purpose. They can destroy buildings, they can kill people, and we will be saddened by this tragedy, but they will never be allowed to kill the spirit of democracy.
Because of the events of today, there are a number of cancellations we'd like to tell you about. First of all, Major League Baseball has postponed all games for today. So has Minor League Baseball and Major League Soccer. PGA has canceled all Thursday rounds. And here in Minnesota, author Salman Rushdie has canceled an appearance in St. Paul. He was scheduled to speak tonight at the Fitzgerald Theater. We could not get to the Twin Cities Hormel Foods. It has postponed this weekend's grand opening of the Spam Museum. Hormel plans to donate products to the disaster relief organizations that work in New York to help those affected by the attacks.
We're going to get a quick check on the weather from meteorologist Mike Fairborn, who's up on the roof. Mike?
Not a lot of focus on the weather today, of course, but we would like to give you a quick forecast. First of all, we did hit 82 degrees here in the Twin Cities today, a little bit of summer returning here for us, and it looks like it's going to be short-lived because by tomorrow we're going to drop down to around 72 degrees for a high. And the extended outlook, we're going to continue cooler temperatures on into the weekend. It looks like we're going to stay dry at least until Saturday when we have a chance of some sprinkles. So that's kind of what's been going on and what's going on over the next few days. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
All right. Here's a recap on the attack on America as it is being called by CBS News. Terrorists crashed 2 planes into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. A jetliner slammed into the Pentagon. A 4th plane then, for some reason, we do not know why, crashed just outside of Pittsburgh in a field. Thousands of people on board the planes inside the buildings. The number killed in these plane crashes could be as high as 700. U.S. officials are reporting now that they believe that they have certain information that Osama bin Laden is behind the attacks. Now, Osama bin Laden, if you're not familiar with that name, but you ought to be by this time, was also accused in a series of attacks, including the bombing of the U.S. embassies in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and also in Nairobi, Kenya. Those are the 2 most recent attacks, and he is being protected by the Taliban government in Afghanistan right now. President Bush is at the Strategic Air Command headquarters in Omaha, Nebraska. He will be addressing the nation tonight. We have late word that he has left Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska, that he is flying, we believe, headed to the White House for tonight's address.
And, you know, this has really been a very emotional day for us who cover the news and for you, the viewers.
And we want to say goodbye to you, but we want to leave you with these sights and sounds which have been seared into your memory.
Oh, my God, there it goes!
WCCO-TV News, which will be part of our continuing coverage of the attack on America. Sandy, that was just excellent.